Hey, happy summer solstice, everyone. I am going to be talking today about how my client Sandy overcame her loneliness forever. So I'm Terry Vanover, and I've helped hundreds of high achieving divorce professionals who look great on the outside, but their intimate relationships are a hot mess. Find inner peace after divorce, find the right relationships, learn how to love themselves unconditionally so that they can feel confident and secure moving forward. So when Sandy came to me, she was struggling with knowing whether or not the relationship she was in was the one. She was constantly second guessing herself. Not only was she second guessing herself in her this intimate relationship, but in other areas of her life as well. This was kind of a common theme. She was high achieving, very ambitious, very well educated, very successful, but deep down on the inside, she did not feel that way. She felt like a failure, and she felt like she wasn't good enough. And this is what I commonly see with people who have abandonment wounds. She came from a highly dysfunctional family where her mother had mental health issues, and so she just grew up with struggling and second guessing herself and trusting herself. And that's what she was really struggling with right now, was struggling, is this the right relationship with me, that I'm in right now? Because she didn't trust herself. And yet, she had all these other great things going for her, but because her divorce had just left her so devastated, she just didn't know how to proceed. And then there were some other issues as well. And when we got down to the heart of it, I helped her recognize specifically where those abandonment wounds were showing up in her relationships. And that's really what it was. And that's what we all do. We use our intimate relationships to fill that void that we didn't get. And that's what the inner child healing is really all about. And so what was happening is, here's this super professional, super accomplished, super educated woman who's showing up in these intimate relationships like a wounded little girl. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, y'all. So what she was doing was expecting her partner to make her feel loved, to make her feel worthy. And so she was showing up in that way as less of herself in her relationship. And through reparenting work, inner child healing work, other modalities, like rituals, journaling exercises, mindfulness exercises, she was able to completely spin that around. And she feels confident. She went from kind of like being desperately lonely, right? And wondering, am I using this relationship to fill that loneliness? It's because that had been her past pattern of using men to fill her. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. So what she recognized was, like, by filling her own void, by learning how to love herself unconditionally, find her own worth, her self-worth, she was able to completely turn that around. Went from leaning on, scrolling on the screens, right, to drinking too much wine at night to numb herself from that loneliness and from that pain and from thinking about it. And now she's gone from that to being her healthiest ever, physically, mentally, spiritually. And guess what? That relationship that she was in was the right one, but she was on the verge of sabotaging it. So now they communicate better, they're closer than ever, they're traveling all over the world. It's really amazing to see that. And here's the other kicker. The relationships with her family have improved significantly, because all the skills that she learned in my program, she can then use them to create better relationships in all of her life, to find inner peace in all areas of her life. So if you find that you are struggling desperately with loneliness, feeling like you're not good enough, you're unworthy, I have a free resource. Just hashtag yes below or shoot me a DM and I'll get you those details. I'd love to have you. All right, thanks for joining me today.